Hi, I'm Eli Dungy and I'm going to be making an album in 30 days. I've been making music since I was a teenager. I was the type of kid who would do like several extracurriculars and then come home to make some more music and still somehow get good grades. However, in recent years I felt a little stuck. I study full-time now, which is probably adding to the reason, but even in my off time it sometimes feels impossible to write a song. But now I'm on holidays, so I decided to do the only thing a reasonable person would choose to do and decide to set myself the challenge of writing and producing an entire album in 30 days. It's enough time to play around, but not enough time to be a perfectionist about it. I, like many other artists, do struggle with perfectionism, and so I think the aim of this challenge is to try and circumvent that by giving myself not nearly enough time to be perfect. I was first inspired to do this after hearing Jacob Collier's new album, The Light for Days, which released like a month or two ago at this point. He essentially set himself the goal of writing a whole album using just a guitar and his voice multiple times, and he gave himself only 4 days to do it. So I'm not doing 4 days, that's way too small, but I think 30 days is a good fit for me. There's also a great video by Ben Bloom, who has also done this challenge before, writing a whole album in 30 days, which I think was especially impressive considering he had to learn like all of his music theory and piano knowledge and how to operate a DAW from scratch. For me, the challenge comes in not only trying to write an album in 30 days, but documenting the process of it. I've never really filmed videos before, and I think this would be a great challenge for me. All right, on to the rules. Rule number 1, probably the obvious one, the album must be completed by the end of the 30 days. Rule number 2, most of the songs should have lyrics. Like, I'm not opposed to an instrumental or two, but most of the songs should have lyrics. And rule number 3, that's it. I don't really want to limit myself too much in this challenge. I feel like 30 days is already enough of a limit. As much as I would like to do a cover, I don't know enough about the legal side of things and like how royalties work. So I'm probably going to steer clear of it for this project. And if I ever do make one, I'll just upload it here. Now, I'm pretty lucky because I already own a lot of the things that would be useful for a challenge like this. So for this challenge, I'll be using my keyboard. I have FL Studio, which is always good. I have a subscription to Composer Cloud, my trusty microphone, and lots of renditions of my voice. It's not studio equipment by any means, but pretty good for what I want to make. Now, since it's only day 1 and I don't really know what I want this album to be yet, I'm thinking about mainly just doing a lot of brainstorming, just experimenting with ideas, maybe just banging out on the piano, weird turn of phrase to use, and just see what sort of comes up. I have like some ideas in my brain, but I'm not quite sure how they're gonna work as a whole thing. But before we do anything at all, I'm going to draw a card from this deck, which is called Crazy Sexy Love Notes. They're just like some affirmations, and I find that they're quite helpful for, just having a start to the day, all that jazz. So I'm gonna pick one at random, and the card I got today is, I don't know if you can see that, Forgiveness Heals. So I'm probably forgiving myself for the amount of stress I'm about to put myself through. For this album, I sort of want to go into like the different genres of like jazz, rock, and funk. Those are like the main sort of 3, but literally whatever happens, happens. So I've made like a playlist of songs that sort of fit what I kind of want to make. So in this playlist, we've got a lot of different sort of genres going on in the sort of like jazz area. We've got, you know, songs by Jacob Collier. We've got All I Need. We've got Time Alone With You, although Time Alone With You is very funky. Yeah, actually a lot of funk. We've got some Sammy Ray and the Friends. We've got some Stevie Wonder. Then in the sort of like rock category, we've got King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. We've got Innuendo by Queen. And we've got Weird Fishes by Radiohead. Okay, so I've written down a list of some ideas for things. Obviously, probably won't use all of them, but it's good to have a starting point. I was combing through all the my notebooks and my notes that I've written with just like random ideas, just to see if anything would be like worth looking at. And there were a few good things in there. There were 2 songs that I wrote like in my teens that kind of never really got past the draft stage, but I think if they were like actually made into like songs, I think they could be good. So we've got 2 songs there, so that's good. We've got building blocks. Next idea, we've got instrumental interlude, Something Sexy. I'm sure that'll go well. I want to make sure that I have my music theatre roots in this album. So I want something sort of like in the musical theatre style, but also like something that is self-contained and doesn't need like, you know, a whole show to make sense for. Oh, this is a interesting one. I'm not a huge country music fan or connoisseur, but one of the ideas is a song about the devil being locked in the basement and trying to convince the singer of the song to let them out. So that could be a cool song to explore. Something that I've been thinking about before I started this challenge was writing a song based on a poem. And the inspiration for that idea is probably not what you think it is. The inspiration was, of all things, Cats the musical. Then, you know, just because it makes sense, just a coming of age song. So got some ideas down, and you know, it's a starting point. Presumably sometime in the next couple of days or even further along, there'll be like more brainstorming sessions like this. But for now, I think it's probably just time to explore the piano, see what happens. Oh, I forgot about this. I have a music notation book that I got for Christmas, and I've written in it, but I rarely use it. There might be something in here, who knows? Okay, not many ideas in this book, unfortunately, but oh well, it just means more room to play. There is. Oh, I need to go back through more of my old books. I remember specifically there was one chord progression that I really liked and I would really like to use in another song. And I'm not smart enough to figure it out by ear, so I'm hoping that I come across that so that I can take from myself and give it to myself. Honestly, I think the biggest challenge for this, I'm anticipating at least, is going to be writing lyrics. I tend to be a very, the music tends to come first for me, which is not necessarily a huge problem, but I don't like my songs when it's so clearly the music came first and then lyrics were just added as an afterthought. Like I want them to both coexist. This is a bit tricky right now, but we will figure out how to get there. So it's all play at the end of the day, and this is only the first day, so how bad could it be? Found a kind of cool chord progression. Let's see if I can remember it all. I don't know what I would use that for, but I think it sounds pretty alright. Let's do some more playing around. Okay, so I've done a bit more brainstorming and playing around, and I've changed my keyboard to like a nice sort of E piano. There's only really 2 E pianos on this thing, but I don't know, it got me in a way. And so the first song of this challenge was the sexy song. Well, what can you do? I wrote a lot of the chords first. It's a pretty sort of simple, like 2 chord sort of thing. And you know, now I'm just starting to work on the words now, and I have an idea of what I want, but I know that a big part of this challenge is going to be me trying to figure out how the hell to word things. Oh well. Anyway, I'll play a bit of it for you now. That's all you're getting for now. Anyway, my brain's kind of run dry on lyrics to write for this song at the moment, so I'm gonna swap around to another song and I'm gonna start the process again, see what happens. So that is going to be the end of day number 1. I got a lot of foundational work done, and I sort of have an idea of what to do next and like what I want to tackle. Now, if you're doing the math, first of all, stop, and second of all, 30 days divided into, let's say, 10 songs equals about 3 days per song. And I can let you know right now, that's simply not going to happen. The idea of focusing on one song for 3 straight days, it's not going to happen, Chief. So my best bet is to just work on whichever song I think I'm doing the best at the time, and then when I lose steam, I'll just swap to a different song. As far as first days go, I think this was a pretty good day. And I'm sure there'll be slower days, but for now, you got to take the wins. Thank you guys for joining me for day 1 of this challenge. Because I want to juggle both making the actual album itself and making content about the album, I will be posting a short video each day, either on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. And every couple of days I'll be posting a longer video on YouTube as a sort of retrospective. But until then, have a great day and remember to drink some water. I'll see you next time.